He's got a full beard and a receding hairline. How the fuck is he in my
I still have a picture. I still have a picture in my Facebook in the podium. Me on first place, and he's on second. Then another kid on third place. Like we both are kids, you know. This guy was like, already
bald,
a family member. You know, I stand by myself. I remember this day when I go give the authorization. And they say, it's your mama signature. Yes, it's my mama's signature. What you talking about? You don't see that. If something happen, the hospital, you gonna have some problem. Your mother have to be here present. Brother, my mom is sick. She cannot come here. She don't like this. She just give the paper and she just sign. So, but I accepted it. I love it. Let me fight. And one of his friends was my boxing coach. He gave me a protein, a big box of protein. When my mom see this at home, hey, he called my dad, you see what he's doing now? He come to this MMA stuff, fighting, and now he start taking drugs.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Verse Us with Eric Nixick. He is Eric Nixick. I am Randy Fainrich, and this is Verse Us. Verse Us is presented by mybookie.ag. At MyBookie, you bet, you win, they pay. Head to mybookie.ag and use code VERSUSPOD, that's VSUSPOD, to get a bonus on your first deposit in a 50% match. Today, we are joined by the man with the fastest hands on the UFC roster. He is the #1 ranked flyweight contender in the UFC, coming off a huge win a few weeks ago, and now waiting for his title shot. Awaits the winner of Pantoja and Kai France this summer. Ladies and gentlemen, Manel Kape, welcome to the show.
Oh, boy. What's up, baby?
What's going on? How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Everything's good. Thank you.
How's everything been since the fight? You feeling good? You resting, relaxing?
Yeah, I've been I've been training a little bit, but enjoy the life. That's most important.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk. Let's start with the fight. What was it now 2 weeks ago now? Yeah. Kind of take us through, your journey in that fight camp. You've been kind of banging on the doorstep of a title shot for a few fights now. So kind of take us through that fight camp. What was like the mentality like going through that camp? Were you thinking with a big win here, with an impressive win, like I'm next no matter what?
This was like actually a great camp because I was very, very motivated, since my last fight against Bruno. And actually I didn't have too much time to stay away. I was all the time in the gym. And when they give me the fight, was supposed to fight Brandon Royval, I was very excited, because we knew Brandon Royval was the #1, and stylistically this fight was making a lot of sense for me. And I was just like, looking forward, because if they told me like you're gonna fight the next week against Brandon Royval, I would accept, I would go, I was ready. I was happy, this was the word. I was very, very happy. And then we have the situation because he pulled out by the injury, and then they give me this guy was a tough opponent and all this stuff. But in a way, I knew I was in the right path. I was in the right path. We did a lot of trainings. It was more mental. The preparation was more mental. Brandon Royval step out and this guy coming, and I know was my goal. What is that? We make a perfect plan. Was a little bit similar, but this guy was a wrestler. But we make a perfect plan. And yeah, mentally I was just very, very strong, very super strong, and I knew when I stepped to the cage, I would do a beautiful stuff there. I'm gonna listen to my corners, and I'm gonna just relieve all this energy was inside me, and this is what I did.
Yeah. Why mentally? You touched on mentally. This camp was tougher rather than like physically. Why? Was it only the opponent change, or was there a lot of pressure?
No. It's not like I didn't say like mentally was tougher. It was just mentally. It was just thinking about everything. You know, I was just thinking about everything, and I just wanna, collect the good things.
Yeah.
You know, stay healthy. You know, I don't wanna get any injury because I had injuries in this camp, a lot of injuries. But I just wanna, play safe. Play smart because it's a great opportunity. I just fought in December, then fight in March, and then the UFC gave me the main event. Was the first main event, and it was just mental. It was just all these years that I've been training, I've been working. And finally I get my main event. That's what I was looking for, and it's just the things happen when you do good things and you training a lot. You win with the impressive win, and for me, I was always when I was more younger, I would say that I'm gonna be a main event in UFC one day, and when this moment coming, I will know that this moment will coming, and when they gave me the main event because I love to fight 5 rounds. I feel myself. I'm a 5 round guy because every rounds I think I improve, and when this moment's coming. Many people don't see the opportunity, in their life, they pray, they asking for, but when the opportunities come, they don't realize, they don't grab, they don't know, and maybe when I fell on this or I fell on that, but the opportunity was there, but they don't see. And when I say about mentally, it's because I see the opportunity. I see the moments I've been talking to myself when I was younger for a long time ago. And this was very emotional to me. I had to come down to breathe and realize that this is the opportunity. That's
You think,
the
Manel,
time.
that because of your experience in RIZIN and you being a champion helped you through a lot of that?
Wait.
Yeah.
I told this in many interviews and in a fight week. This is a big moment. People want to put the pressure. They say, "Oh, this is a big moment, and probably you're gonna fail because the pressure and everything."
But you've been there.
I've been there. I've been there since my 23 years old, 24 in RIZIN, and I fought with 60,000 people there. Most of the time.
In that's in Japan,
In
yeah.
Saitama Arena.
wow.
And every end of the years I was fighting there with 60, 30, 40,000 people there, and all this atmosphere, all these shows before to the entrance, all these things. So these things is preparing myself, is preparing myself. Even one time, the first time when I stepped in Japan, I was thinking to myself, well, it was in 2017. I was looking to Japan because it was a city I would love to go there, and all these lights, buildings was beautiful tonight. And I always think like myself, I'm just gonna leave this country when everybody's know my name here, when I be a champion, I want to conquer this city. I was thinking to myself, and when coming the time for fighting the belt, I knew it was that time, I grabbed that time, and I didn't miss with the opportunity because I'm very cold in these moments and these big moments. And when they in a fight week, they asked me about your first main event. Is UFC is a big, sometimes it's a big weight for many people. They fell down, and I say Asu is gonna fail. He's a great opponent. He's coming size 2017, they didn't lose 17 win streak, all this blah 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 stuff. But the fight is about here. The fight game is about here, and I knew this moment. He never had a moment like that, and I know he's gonna fail mentally in that moment. And this the moments is I'm gonna raise myself, because I've been there, and I know I'm gonna collect to that moment.
Yeah. What do you think? Did anything surprise you in the fight? Did you think you would be that much quicker than him? I think everyone kind of knew you'd have the speed advantage, but did you think you'd be that much quicker than him?
Yes, I knew it was gonna be more faster than him, and the work what we've been doing with Eric, Richard, and Kleber, my other coaches. I feel that was and the Selmas as well. One of the Selmas helped me a lot mentally and strategy too, and I knew I'm gonna be more faster than him, 100%. But it's just about the strategy was so perfect. We create a perfect a perfect strategy, perfect pressure him, because he ain't gonna feel comfortable. You know, this was the strategy. We ain't gonna let him breathe or stay calm in this big moment. You know, part of the mentally and part of the game. He's gonna feel the pressure, and we want to put in pressure on him, and that's what happened.
Yeah. Speaking of the strategy and the game plan, like what did you guys talk about throughout camp? What was it? Because obviously he's a heavy wrestling background type of guy.
Not being in the same place at once.
Yeah.
So, and then when you have a guy like Manel who can move the way that he does, stay heavy on Manel's athleticism and I think he's got the best vision. You know, yes, hand speed and everything else, but what I'm always so impressed with is his eyes, the openings that he sees and the movement that he has. You know, as a guy that gets to hold pads for him, it's a lot of fun because it's just like his creative nature. And we'll do something and he'll be like, oh, hold on, like let's add this in. And you're like, oh shit, you know, like just the angles that he's able to create. I think that type of movement and the footwork that he has makes it very tough for a wrestler to find where he's at. So when you put a guy on his back foot, like a good wrestler, put him on his back foot, you put the pressure on him. Anytime that he takes a shot, it's on our terms. It's a panic wrestle. So anytime that he shot on Manel saw the shot a mile away, sprawled on him, redirected him, and then was back on the hands. So really the game plan is predicated on him. Like what we do, what he does, we get to just be able to make him and allow him to be the artist in there. And it's beautiful to watch. It's just best seat in the house. I always get to tell people when you get to see Manel spar, we get to see him fight. It's just pay-per-view rounds, you know?
Yeah. We had Dean Thomas in here a couple weeks ago, and we were talking. One of the things he mentioned was, you know, your speed, your vision, you know, what makes you so exciting to watch. We talked about, you know, matchups potentially with Pantoja Rematch or Kai Kara France. But I asked Dean, and I would love to ask you, do you ever get like, I forgot how I phrased it on the episode, but do you ever get like to a point, because your vision's so good and you are so fast, that you almost have to wait for your opponent to get to where he needs to be for you to throw like because it felt when I watched again, as a someone who's never fought, just watched the sport, it almost felt like you were setting him up for positions that he couldn't even get to.
You were too fast.
Like you were too fast in those positions. You had to wait for him to move to like then. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, and it's fun because sometimes I'm like I knew what he gonna do. You know,
before he did
it.
Yeah.
Just the expression, the body language, the body language. I knew what he gonna do, and it's funny because sometimes I saw the fight and I saw things and I predict like he's gonna do this, and people do, you know. And I'm just trying to be like, you know, when you can be like 1 second or 2 seconds ahead of them on the movement and do some stuff like a Dragon Ball, like you know. That's something that sometimes I try to create and put a lot of setups on people. You know,
and that's an eternity in the fight game. A second or two is so long.
He's putting a lot of traps. People are greedy, you know, in a fight game, and when they are very greedy, and I can tell by the eyes, you know, you're gonna fail in that thing, and they always bite. Some of the fighters, they knew they're smart enough, but sometimes is they do so many times this thing that the body is automatically doing that movement without they want to do.
It's like muscle memory.
Memory. So they sometimes they are catch on muscle memory, you know. So, and I'm trying to not to have this muscle memory all the time. I work to not to be automatically in doing this, because people always stood, but what you do, you don't do it. But you know, I've been doing this for years, so you ain't gonna be able to stop something that you just been training for 3 months, and something that I've been working for years.
Breaks patterns, breaks rhythms a lot, doesn't always have the same combination. One meat and potato combination will lead to like 15 different things that we can do off of it. So, I equate him to like watching a mongoose going against the king cobra. Just speed, in, out, movement, feint, move, in, out. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what I love so much about watching his style.
Yeah.
Is just you just never really know when and where it's coming from. You know?
Yeah. The technical aspect of flyweights, but it's specifically you and guys at the highest level is like so fun to watch.
What's up, guys? Thank you for watching the show. I appreciate all the comments, all the love, all the support. But if there's anything we can do better, if there's guests you want to see coming on, let us know. Put it in the comments. Tell us what we can do. Now, back to the show.
We could put a bow on that fight. I know you had something that you wanted to give to Manel.
Oh, yeah. Got you a little something.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. One of the hardest pictures I've seen.
Brother. Thank you so much. Thank you really so much. I really love this picture.
Me too.
That's very beautiful.
Yeah.
Can you show the camera?
Yes, I'm gonna show this.
I think that.
So that was after this last fight,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, that's one of my
Yeah.
favorite pictures. And shout out to Jeff. Jeff Patari sent me that. So we made a canvas of that, but that picture goes hard. It just, to me, it encapsulates everything that we all love so much.
Yeah,
our
yes,
team, our
yes.
family, the vision, being in the cage together. So I wanted to get you
It's
something for the house.
It's very, very good. And
Yeah.
my daughter's giving me a lot of energy. You know?
Yes, she does.
It's crazy because when I looked to her, she was there and she was like, "Daddy."
Yeah.
Really? Like in the
Daddy.
fight?
Yeah.
Oh,
She's
wow.
only 3 years old, but she
Yeah.
she's Daddy, kick ass.
Do you enjoy having her cage side? Because every fighter is
no.
different. Some don't want them there. Some want them there.
No, it's not too like me and my daughter. We're different. We have a good connection. Family, all this stuff. Like I don't like these moments of love. You understand? Because we're going to war.
Yeah.
And I like to be mean. And sometimes I don't like that my family or some people very close to me
Makes you soft.
no.
Right?
See this type of me.
Yeah.
I'm a different person when I'm going to fight and fight week, and then in my normal days in real life. I'm very chill. I'm super calm. I'm very educated person, but in a fight business, when it comes to the fight, it's something that just turns
switch flips.
It switch
Yeah.
flips, and I know myself. I become very, very aggressive. And I don't like love in that moment, because it's just a moment I want to be with guys,
Yeah.
We want to be on same energy, we want to be mean, we want to be aggressive, and we want to do bad things because it's the moment, we're fighting. And then, but it's funny because when I see my daughter, she give me the energy of toughness, I don't feel like that love energy where we have like every day most of the time, hug each other, kiss, say I love you or whatever. She's just like, she's just a mini me.
Yeah.
I love that moment though. When we
Yeah,
got to bring her in the cage and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
too.
yeah.
It was like, bring me my daughter.
Yeah.
She ain't shy,
Yeah.
she's not shy. She have a lot of attitude, so she's very sassy.
Nothing better than being a girl dad, huh?
Yes,
Yeah.
nothing
Yeah.
better.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. All right. So obviously big win in that fight. I want to get your initial thoughts on Pantoja and Kaikar France. Obviously they're fighting in July or June or something like that, sometime in the summer. And you would face the winner of that. What are your thoughts on that matchup first? And then we'll talk about them individually with you.
Actually, I don't know if they will fight.
Oh, really?
I really don't know.
I thought that was already booked.
Not
I
booked.
don't know.
Oh.
Because I've been receive calls. I will not say, but brother, we will see what's going on. It's been crazy. We will see what's going on because I'm still training. I'm still training.
Where's our breaking news button?
Yeah.
Breaking news.
I'm still training. After the fight Monday, I was already in the gym. But right now we are in Ramadan, so I've been training just one time a day. But after the end of Ramadan, I'm gonna be very ready. I'm gonna be 2 or 3 times a day in the gym. But We don't know nothing
Yeah.
about Pantoja and Kape reference, so we will see.
All right.
But if they fight, it's a great matchup. It's a great matchup because people underestimate a little bit Kape reference, but he have a great style for Pantoja. If fight one of my friends was Ashkar Ashkarov and he win, and Ashkar Ashkarov beat Pantoja. And Kape reference have a great defense takedown. And in my vision, Pantoja don't have a great wrestling. He have a great jiu-jitsu. He's a toughness guy, and he walk a lot of forward. And Kape friends have a good counter. He's a good counter. He's a heavy hands. He have I think he's the second most guy with knockouts in flyweight division. So it's interesting. It's interesting this matchup. Because you have a great defense, and I just don't know, but mentally Pantoja is more strong than him. Mentally Pantoja is more strong than him. I feel that Kape France is a little bit, is a little bit,
Emotional.
He is very emotional, and when it comes to the fight game, when it's gonna be who is the alpha, is going a little bit down, and Pantoja is already being shown that this guy is about that life,
Yeah.
So it's interesting, but whoever wins, I'm gonna be here, and I'm a great matchup stylistic with for both.
Yeah.
Who do you got next week? Moreno and Erceg. Good fight.
Oh yeah, I forgot it. That's the Mexico City headliner, right?
Good fight.
Yeah, it's a great fight.
I don't know, because Moreno was doing good. He was doing good, and then after he fight against Brandon Royval, I don't know what happened with him. I was thinking that against Brandon Royval he would kick his ass, but he
Didn't look the same in that
he
fight.
doesn't look the same guy that wanna be like a champion again.
Sure.
And he took a break after that fight, right?
He
Is
took
this
a little
his first
break,
fight back?
and then he fought Amir.
Amir.
Oh, that's
yeah,
right.
It was his last fight, right?
Amir was his last fight.
Yeah,
He looked good in
then
the
he
Amir
show,
fight.
he's looking very good with Amir. He showed a lot of improvement, but against Brandon Royval, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But so the last fight was Amir. So yeah, basically I'm going to this fight for Moreno, not Erceg.
Yeah.
By Moreno, but
Yeah.
definitely. I just see Erceg was a very excited guy, but he's not that guy. It's not that guy.
He's got pretty good boxing, huh?
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
pretty
yeah.
good boxing,
Yeah.
but Moreno is more smart than him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just believe that he's more smart than him.
I think Moreno wrestles a little bit more in this fight. I think he
should.
should.
Yeah, I think
Erceg have a good jiu-jitsu as well.
Yeah.
I see Erceg
Yeah.
have a good jiu-jitsu, but he's just very he's just too correct. He's just too correct, and Moreno can create more.
Did Erceg get the
opportunity.
title fight after the Schnell win? Did they give him
Yes.
the title fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think they didn't really have anyone,
Yes.
for
Yeah,
for
yes.
Pantoja.
Yeah.
Because I think you were booked and Kai was booked. and a bunch of people were booked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, was
And I
booked.
think it was just like,
He's
let's just elevate this guy.
Yeah.
yes.
They've
Was
done
this-
that a couple times,
Yeah.
Like they just did it with your old opponent in RIZIN.
Kai.
Kai
Kai.
Sakura.
Yeah, they he came in and just got a title shot. I
Yeah.
don't think he
wa-
fought
wa-
anybody.
Yeah, he was a champion.
Yeah.
I don't quiz. He was a champion. He was doing good. There he was beating a lot of great guys.
Yeah.
What's it like fighting in Japan?
It's different. but
Yeah.
it's really different.
Yeah.
It's good.
Ray
It's
talks
nice.
about that all the time.
It's
Yeah.
this different, but it's something that you just feel when you be there.
Yeah.
It's a crazy feeling.
And different, like for you, star power out in Japan. Like I'm sure you're loved out there. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that there, and it's just so nice. It's just so cool. There is a lot of pressure there as well. People expect a lot from you, but in the end, they recognize that you're just a human being when you fall. You are a human, and we all fall, and they respect that. You know.
They don't cheer like the people here.
Yeah, they don't
Pile on.
Yeah.
they don't switch like, oh, this guy is good. Oh, actually this guy is not that
Yeah.
good or whatever.
Right.
Like people here.
And they're quiet during the fight.
That's what I was
no,
gonna
no, no.
ask.
This
How's the
there's no-
crowd?
They like this was back on a time, but when I was fighting, they're not quiet.
Okay.
'Cause, you know, I was like to create entertainment,
Yeah.
and people was like, I hear a lot of noise. But like when the fight is boring, they don't
Boo.
they don't boo. They just respect. They stay quiet if the fight is boring. But when the fight is going, is excited, they really make some noise. You
Yeah.
know? They really make some noise. They like to enjoy, but respectful. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Ray was talking about those stories. I know UFC used to go there quite a bit.
One
They
time.
haven't- No, they've been more than once because they went, when I was working there, they went probably twice.
Yeah.
And then they went one time after I left there. So they
Brad
used to
fought
go.
there.
Yeah, they used to go a little bit, but they haven't been
For a long
since
time.
COVID
Why
for
is that?
sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't want to say shit.
Oh, we ain't saying shit then. Fuck it.
But yeah, they used to go quite a bit. They don't really go anymore.
But it's a market that we have to explore because
Yeah.
right now.
Well, Asia in general,
is my
right? I mean-
is my audience. By
Yeah.
the way, is my biggest audience. I have, of course, I represent Portugal and Angola. I have a big fans there, but most of my audience really my fans are in Japan. So
Yeah.
I believe we win the title and bring the UFC Japan there. It's gonna be amazing. Who's know me and Kaya Sakura. Three,
yeah.
and Jiri Prowaska. Jiri Prowaska
Yeah.
was the champion there, so
That's right.
it's gonna be like massive. You know?
Yeah. That
What
would
got
be
you
incredible.
over to RIZIN first?
Um,
As far as like when you were fighting, like early
no,
in your career?
it was a tournament. They want to make a tournament of flyweight division, but only with guys that have already like about 2 or 3 belts. So I already was a champion in Europe, in Portugal, Spain, and France, and they want to make a big tournament of flyweight. Like so, was the moment when they call me.
Yeah, you
And
went over
then-
there.
Yeah. They called me. Hey, you wanna fight here in RIZIN, and yes, of course, I took the opportunity.
Yeah.
and, I did good. I did very well.
And you started off really boxing more, huh?
Yes.
And your dad was a boxer?
Yeah, my dad was a former world champion boxing, and we been in Olympic Games as well. I started like boxing with 40 years old with him, but my background, as I say, is jiu-jitsu. You know?
Jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, I started very early jiu-jitsu, and was jiu-jitsu that bring me to MMA. Was my passion. Yeah.
So what was it like growing up in Angola? Like, were you said boxing
I
at 4?
I born in Angola.
You grew up in Portugal.
I grew up in Portugal.
Ah,
yeah.
okay. So you started boxing in Portugal, jiu-jitsu in Portugal, all of that.
Yeah, so everything in Portugal.
Okay.
Everything in
And
Portugal.
did you always know like you wanted to get into combat because of like your dad being a boxer, or when was the moment that you wanted to really start getting into it?
No, I was doing for fun boxing, but I was playing soccer. I was a very good, very talented soccer player in Portugal, and the boxing, the fighting was just there. It was just in blood, you know. I was just doing things for fun, and when I find the jiu-jitsu is where I start getting to the MMA. My coach Kleber, he start teaching me, and for me, was very challenger. You know, was very challenging, very funny, because you know, I was too good in soccer. Then sometimes I didn't go to trainings or just go to the games, and the coach always called me, hey, you are in a team, you have to win, you have to score, and I was okay, and I was losing a little bit that passion, you know.
Yeah.
When you do something too good, but in jiu-jitsu, no, in jiu-jitsu was different, you know. Every day I was learning some different position, some different technique, and for me it was just fun, you know, because you know you can mobilize someone, you know, and they don't do anything. You know, for me it was just like really impressed, because I was the type of the guy that like in the street or wherever, so if you come, I give you 1, 2, 3, you know, punches and you're done. But when you start mixing up these defense and everything about jiu-jitsu, it just bring me joy. It was really amazing, and besides them, I never stopped training jiu-jitsu.
You think your jiu-jitsu is really underrated because people don't get to see it as much? I get to see it all the time.
Yeah, yes.
And I watch you coach, and I see you coaching stuff in the gym.
Yeah.
But like I think people overlook that how good your jiu-jitsu actually really is.
No, I just fall in love with the boxing, kickboxing, and the moves I can do. And I didn't use a lot of my jiu-jitsu, but people and they forgot because I've been doing amateur fighters. Besides, I have 10 amateur fighters and 8 was by submission.
Oh.
8 by submission, and my professional fights I have 5 submission as well. So like I never had any problem on the ground. So you as you can see, every fight that I'm being on the ground, people have being a real big problem.
Right.
Who's some of the guys that you enjoy watching, and maybe even growing up in boxing? Like some of the guys you took influence from.
Of course. My father was one of my inspiration, of course, about the hard working. He was really about hard working. He's someone that he earned everything in his life what he have by hard work. So we never chase that fame. We never chase the fans. We never chase anything. Only about the passion of the hard work. It was something that he teach me. Until this day, I'm still focused on. I'm adept of hard working to win everything by what we doing. But I was in love watching Roy Jones Jr. Yeah, Roy Jones Jr. was my is a special man. It was my favorite. He, Muhammad Ali, that's the people that I was always watching. I mean,
Fastest left hook in boxing.
Yes.
Roy Jones just pop.
Yeah.
Yes. Prince
I'd say
Nassim.
Prince
Nassim,
yeah.
Prince Nassim is like there's the people I was watching.
Yeah.
Copy some moves. Doing some.
He was an
of the
entertainer. That
Yes,
dude
big
was an
time.
entertainer.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of my favorite guys to watch for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you seen him
watching,
recently, by the way?
Huh?
Have you seen him recently?
No.
Oh, he's
Huge.
Yeah, huge. Yeah.
Really?
I saw one podcast of him. You give an interview. He's huge right now.
Where's
Yeah.
he from? Was he Moroccan?
I don't know.
I don't remember,
I
but
don't-
he spends a lot of time in the Middle East, which is
Yeah.
where I've seen him in person
I
a
thought he
couple
used to
times.
train out of England.
He did.
Okay.
He did.
Yeah, yeah.
He did. But I don't know where he's from
Do you watch
originally.
much of Boots Ennis?
What is that?
Jaron Ennis.
Yeah.
Boots Ennis, the boxer.
He's a guy you would enjoy watching.
Yeah.
Lot of switch stance,
Yeah.
a lot of movement.
He's in like Terrence Crawford division.
Uh,
He's been calling out Crawford actually for
Has
a
he?
while. Yeah, for
Really?
a while. Which I would love to see that. I think it's too early for
too
Boots.
early.
Younger
but-
generation, I don't know too much.
Yeah.
If he's young, I don't know too much about young generation.
Yeah.
I know more of the old school.
Yeah.
Old school.
Yeah.
Old school.
But
boxing.
Boots, Terrence Crawford, another guy switch stances a lot.
Yeah.
Also very smart. Very
Yeah, I
smart.
love watching Crawford, man. I love watching Crawford. I hope he fights Canelo in September. That
You
would be
watch
fucking
much
insane.
of Lomachenko?
Yeah, I watch him. He's good. Some stuff is like this. I like to watch these guys, but I don't like to watch too much because it's for not be able to be so influenced.
Sure.
I like to do my thing.
Right.
I like to do my thing. So it's not gonna sound like the guys like is similar. you
Yeah.
know, So I know sometimes of course we all see some of the fighters, but I don't like to watch too much people that have like a little bit my style. I like to study more. So I don't get influenced for that. Or become obsessed to
Right.
do something like similar.
And then you deviate from like what makes you great.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's right.
So let's growing back to Portugal, growing up. When did you have like your first amateur fight? Like how young were you?
My
Really diving in.
first amateur fight, I was 14 years old. 14
Wow.
years old.
That's awesome.
Yes, I was 14 years old. Me and my best friend Paulo, we was fighting that tournament. We was like the there is the tournament was like the name is there. They already picked. The name is booking. Who's gonna fight this? Who's gonna fight there? He come to that time. Then we sometimes you have to show up later for our opponents don't see that we was there because sometimes I was fighting in the division more heavy than mine. And this guy was trying to sabotage me because I was supposed to fight with young kids, with young kids with my age, like till 16 or 17 or whatever. And they put in my guy one time with the 30 fucking years old. Amateur. I was like 16, I think 16 or 15. And I put the guy like that, and I say he's not that guy. He's not under my age,
He's got a full beard and a receding hairline. How the fuck is he?
I still have a picture. I still have a picture in my Facebook. We in a podium, me on first place, he's on second, then another kid on third place. Like we both are kids, This guy was like, already
bald,
a family member, But it was crazy because
had a full family, 3 kids,
and I feel like the power it was very powerful, but I like but I beat him so badly, But it was fun because. There was the moment, when you're like the big team coming and the small teams, they just see they scared, and these kind of things just make me like up. When we was a lot of Kleber, we was a lot of members of the team. Kleber was we have a big team there, and when we just arrived to the amateurs. And everybody's already see, these guys again, they're gonna win. They already like mentally they was already down, And I was like, when I was young, I was very, I was very bully, and I was passing to my opponents. I want to say, brother, prepare them.
Bro, I love being around like Kleber and Paul and those guys. Like I can feel that family, bro, and like I really enjoy it because I feel like a part of it too. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah, they're great guys. How did he do in his fight?
Yeah, in my opinion, he win, but. Honestly, he win, but he just didn't pressure too much. He was walking too much back, but he was connect. He was just counter him, but he didn't pressure too much, and they give it
decision the other way.
The decision, but he was connecting very, 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 very good. But that's what I say.
Yeah,
really what it is.
When you heading back? When you heading back home? You going back at all?
I want to go there probably after 2 weeks or whatever. I want to see my people do some stuff and then come back again.
How often do you go back?
Well, when I can.
Yeah.
When I can.
When he can eat.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I can eat the real food.
Yeah.
Explain to the viewers like Ramadan, that ones that don't know. So you're fasting from sunrise to sunset.
Yes.
No food, no water.
No water, and then just actually Ramadan. Just the time change, right? The time change because we break the fast at I think it was at 5 o'clock, and now just 1 hour later it's now 6:49. But
come on, daylight savings.
I know.
But it's for a good reason, It's a good reason. I'm still very strong, I even feel that I need to eat or drink or whatever. It's a good purpose, and right now I'm very, very close. My energy it's amazing. I have aligned my life. I have the things just being so good right now.
Yeah,
so good. So it's a sacrifice that we have to do. And it's a for good thing.
How long is it for?
A month.
For all the month of March.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think of, Muslim athletes fighting during Ramadan? Like, I mean, Ankalaev just recently fought, right? And he talked about how he had to break. He felt like he had to break the fast,
of course,
in order to.
You can break it. You can break if you are in some mission, or if you are not able health. If you are sick, you can break it. Of course, he had to do. It was important thing in his life. Allah knows, and he did well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. What'd you make of that fight? Did you think Ankalaev won?
yeah,
pretty
yeah. So
clearly?
of course, bro.
Yeah.
Of course you won.
I'm just asking because the talk
of course.
online was,
No,
a lot of
no,
people
no.
thought round
No.
3 was the swing round, but
No,
I
no,
thought
no.
he won too.
No, no,
Yeah, I
he
thought so
won. He
too.
won. He won all the rounds. First, I was there watching. He was doing so well. People forgot that Alex Pereira don't have too much experience on MMA. You know, he just have he have a good striking. You know, but Uncle I have all the mixer ups of MMA. You know, feints, going level change. You know. It's different striking, you know.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. A guy's going to go boxing or doing kickboxing. MMA guy going to do kickboxing or doing boxing, brother. It's total different. The cardio is total different. The boxing from MMA, you know. Cardio in boxing is more endurance, you know. MMA is more explosive, and don't be surprised if you're gonna get tired in the boxing with shoes. It's you're not usual to that, you know. So. But the kickboxing style and MMA is totally different. That's was the make the difference. That's why Ankalaev was better striking than him, you know, in MMA.
Yeah, because he blended it well.
Yes,
Yeah.
he blended
He blended it
well.
well.
In MMA, he's a better striking than Pereira.
I don't think they give him enough credit, Ankalaev, on how good his striking. I mean, we've seen him in the gym a bunch. Like he's very clean, but like what Manel's saying, he puts the threat of the takedown within his striking, so it freezes guys.
Yes.
Right.
I think, and I may be way off here, but I do think if they rematch, I think Ankalaev might knock him out. Like I think he has the tools to do like that little shot at the end of the second round or whatever.
Because
he can do that more.
Because they put a lot of expectation on left hook of Pereira, and now he break that. You already see that Enganati.
Yeah.
So now we can explore more its knockout.
Yeah.
You know.
He did a really good job of occupying that lead hand, taking that lead hand away, whether he was doing this or grabbing it,
grabbing it,
playing. You know what I mean? So it shut that left hook off.
And Ankalaev, he was a little bit reckless to put it a left hook because what's coming with left hook? A takedown. You know. So he knew that if he do that with the body, he can level change and going down. So he was a little bit like cautless.
Yeah.
You know?
Conscious of it.
Yes.
Yeah. And he kept Pereira on the back foot the whole fight, it felt like.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
And I don't think you've seen anyone do that to him.
Yes.
So yeah, it was interesting. I thought after that first round or second round, whenever he caught him, I thought he was gonna knock him out in that fight.
Yeah,
because
I
he just, you could tell he had Pereira's like rhythm. Like he knew how Pereira was gonna move.
But he was respectful. He didn't knock
He
him out
was.
because he was respectful.
Exactly. And that's why I think maybe in a rematch, I think he knows what to expect
this
now.
This is good because he doesn't underestimate Pereira.
Yeah.
He doesn't underestimate Pereira.
Right.
Even after the almost the knockdown, he didn't underestimate. He still
knows the
he
threat.
still know that he the threat. He have the power. So this is what made the smart fighters, and people have to realize of these small details. You know?
Yeah.
What's up, guys? Get on the sports betting action by going to mybookie.ag. At MyBookie, it's easy. You bet, you win, they pay. MyBookie has over 150 bets for you to choose from anything from fights, hoops, football, prop bets, minute bets. It's all there. Head to mybookie.ag and use code VERSUSPOD. Not only will you get a 50% bonus on your first deposit up to $1,000, you'll also get a $10 casino chip. That's a lot of money there. I've seen large parlays cash for less. Every once in a while, again, head to mybookie.ag and use the code VERSUSPOD. You bet, you win, they pay. Now let's get back to the show.
I was reading, I know we were talking about, we've been jumping back and forth, but I was reading you made your professional debut at 17.
Yeah, yes.
Did you have to get like a waiver sign or anything like that? Like, how'd that happen?
No,
like your parents sign a waiver of like, yes, he can fight.
They want that my mother sign a letter. And back on the time, I knew my mom isn't gonna sign it. So I signed by myself. I remember this day when I go give the authorization. And they say, it's your mama signature. Yes, it's my mama's signature. What you talking about? You don't see that. Yeah,
Written in
see?
crayon.
Yeah. And they say, hey, but
It just says mom.
Mom.
It doesn't say her name.
if something happen, in the hospital, you can have some problem. Your mother have to be here present. Brother, my mom is sick. She's at home. She's sick. She cannot come here. She don't like this. She just give the paper and she just signed. So, brother, I accepted it.
I love it.
Let me fight. Because I was talking to my mother. I was like, tell her like, hey, mom, I'm gonna fight, blah blah blah. My mom was like, no, like about fight. Actually, my father didn't like that I fighting.
Really?
My father didn't want that I fight him. It's interesting because he was a fighter. He didn't want. He wanted that I followed the soccer game. Because in soccer you have a bigger reward in a life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got
Oh, yeah.
eight-figure contracts.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And I was very young. I was like doing so good,
Yeah.
and he was investing a lot on me, and buy me like nice shoes for training, equipment, and everything, keep me healthy, and do a lot of things. And when I started to change for MMA, he was like, no, do this, I don't want to let you fight, and blah blah blah. And one of his friends from the gym was my boxing coach. He's Vinagre. He was like I love that guy because this guy back in the time he was young. He have all these nightclubs and they have a bunch of bars and everything. And size younger was like putting guys to work on the bars. I was like with him. I like to him. He's one guy that I was like see him as a mirror.
Yeah.
And he gave me a protein, a big box of protein. When my mom see this at home, hey, he called to my dad, you see what he's drinking now? He come to this MMA stuff, fighting, and now he start taking drugs.
Like, wait a minute.
I say, hey, mom, this is not drugs. This is like
Protein.
it's a protein. No, it's not. This is drugs for you guys become bigger.
Yeah, steroids. Yeah.
Steroids. This is a steroids. My father was that you cannot drink this. You know you are fighter, bro. What you talking about? Because my father didn't take any supplements, only vitamin C. That put in water, these vitamins, and magnesium, a lot of bananas, and the old style,
school.
old school, a lot of eggs,
Yeah.
And it was funny. And I say, Mom, this is for good. And I always try to explain, no, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. And then when it's funny because back in the time I was like going to, after the training, we left the training so later, like middle of the night. And my mom closed the door, when I go home. And my mom always closed the door because she don't want that I came late. Yeah. And I had to sleep in the house of my best friend Paulo. Or I called my brothers, hey, go open the door. And they was like, if I open the door, mama's gonna kick my ass. She said, for you, return where you was. Yeah, fuck. But when I had my fight was funny. Because my first fight, I told my mom, hey, give me like 100 euro, $100.
Yeah.
To buy nice shoes, to go to the fight, to go clean. And my mom say like, it was 80 or 100. Mom say, why you need all that money? Yeah, now to buy nice shoes, the Air Force Ones in that time. Air Force One. My mom said, no, I'm not gonna give you. What's your brother gonna wear?
Yeah.
If I give you, I can go buy some shoes of $10 in these cheap markets, and give we was four at that time. We are five brothers, but we was four. And that time I can buy like $10 every shoes. It's gonna be 40, and still have
Money.
50 or $40. I say, you know what? Okay, doesn't matter. I'm going with my shoes. And I get no. Paulo gave me shoes. Paulo gave me these shoes. Was a nice shoes. When I win the fight, they give me $400, $400, €400. And then when I came home, I give 250 to my mom. My mom was like,
Yeah.
wait, take this money. No, from the fight. Yeah, like, from the fight. You are doing something wrong. What's from the fight? And I show him, and he was like, okay, you make this money. Yeah, it was this money. I make this money. And then I took my 200 and go buy buy my iPhone.
2 pairs of shoes.
I was clean every day, these shoes.
Yeah.
And then my mom went to see, and then my mom started helping me.
Nice.
Start make
She
my
knew.
she started to make my food. She started to say, "Man, what time you don't go training?" She was
Get your ass in shape.
she was like,
She saw that money.
Hey, you don't go train today. You don't go training. You're tired. Hey, stand up. Go.
I love it.
Go training. And it's funny because this 400 euro was the most tasty money I made, and it's most I feel in my life. I can make even I make a good money today or 1 million or whatever, ain't gonna feel the same than my first paycheck in MMA was incredible. When I see my mom face, I say give the paycheck.
I love
and
it.
she
That's
was like,
awesome.
okay, I'm gonna help you.
So you got 5 brothers?
We are 5 brothers.
5 brothers.
Yes,
Yeah.
they all fight.
That's funny.
They're
She
from-
thought you were a drug dealer and then started cooking your
Yeah,
meals.
no, my mom was about this because I was always.
You
I was-
coming
can't
home
live
with
on
drugs.
protein.
You're asking for $100.
Yeah.
You came back with $200.
Yes, my
That's
mom was.
funny.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Any of your brothers fight?
Yes, they always fight boxing.
Oh, they all do?
They all do boxing.
Oh,
they
wow.
all do. They all do good. They all do good.
Older, younger? Are you in the middle?
I'm the second older.
Second oldest. Okay.
I'm the second older.
Wow. Okay. And are they in Portugal still? In Europe? Or-
Portugal.
Yeah.
Portugal. They are all in Portugal.
That's amazing. A fighting family.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I want to go visit. I tell them all the
He's
time.
amazing.
Going to
He's
visit
I want to go
Portugal,
so
bro.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had some family friends. Actually, I think it was my wife's cousins or whatever, but they went to Lisbon.
Oh,
And then they traveled. I think they traveled all around. I
You
don't
have
know
to
all the
come
cities.
to Porto. Porto is more.
Porto. Yeah.
It's more family. They receive you good. It's amazing. The best food in the world.
This
Yeah?
guy can cook
best
too, bro. You seen
food.
this guy cook?
No.
Yeah,
the
this guy
the
can
best food in the world.
Yeah.
Spice so far.
I want to go so
Yes,
bad.
it's
That's
good.
on my list. It's on my list for sure. So let's fast forward then. You won your debut.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And then you were in Cage Warriors, right? That was your debut, was Cage Warriors or no?
No.
What-
It's not cage wars. Cage fighting.
Cage Fighting.
Yeah. Cage
Okay, I
fighting.
thought it was Cage Warriors.
No, cage fighting.
And so like, did you just move through the European circuit? Like how were you kind of moving through until you got to RIZIN?
No. I was fighting in, Portugal is very near to Spain. I was fighting Spain, Portugal, and then I fighting in France. There is a COC. It was a great promotion there. And the time they made nice shows, and that's the one that I was. They started knew myself. When I get the
Yeah.
belt from COC, people try to like bomb and start to call me. And these cage warriors in a circle of European. So then after the rising, I had to go to Angola, to see for the first time because my mom went to fly there, and she got sick there. And for 2 years I didn't fight, I didn't train because I was taking care of her there, and she passed away after. Not when I get to the rising, but I went to Africa. They're still there. I was training, but not the same thing, because
Right.
there the condition was not that good as in Europe, and so I was there more with family. It was my first time in Angola, I started to make friends there. For 2 years, I didn't fight, and I always think that the fight game is over, and then I got sick there. I get malaria there.
wow.
Shit.
Bro, I was in a position that I think I was die there, because I lose a lot of weight. And then my brothers they fly there. They was help me a lot when I get the sick. They always help me a lot. Blah blah blah. And then when I was training, I just get a cold. I was like praying a lot. for something change in the life. I was stuck there, and my mom was a little bit sick, and then I just get a call. After 2 years, you are fighting, and in Europe, we want to see you. You're very talented. Blah blah blah. You have the opportunity to fight in Japan. Was that time was one of my friend. He was a manager. He's not he is a manager, but we just have like a friendship. Know. And then I asked you, look, I want to fight. I want to fight. He's gonna see. He told me like, hey, how many belts you have? I have three belts. Oh, there is a tournament in Rising. I say, I'm on. And then he called. I was just in Angola. I was just training with one guy, honestly, on his garage. I was training with him on his garage. Today we are brothers now. Size day one. It was just me and him. I was training only together, and then we come to that big stage. Me and him, like, was crazy. The things was I've been through there in Africa, and then come to the Rise and be successful there. Without trainer, without coaching, without nothing. It was just me and him. It was crazy because sometimes there the lights going down. There is no light. We have to turn on the
generator.
The generator to train it, to be able to train.
Yeah.
Sometimes we train in the dark in his garage.
Yeah.
We buy some mats. And it was just like that. It was the toughness, the willing, and
the pureness of just getting it done. And,
the purest. Like it was just like we was training hard. We was doing straddle, but it was just me and him. With no coach, no strategy, no nothing. It was really crazy.
What was that first moment like in the RIZIN cage in Japan with all those people after doing that for 2 years? Like, did you have that moment in the cage of like?
No, I was that moment. I was like, bro, these guys are too comfortable in life. They ain't they
ain't been through what I've been.
They ain't been through what I've been, and they like if when I grab someone in the cage, I want to eat him alive here, and. These guys are too. I just feel these guys are too comfortable. You see by the skin, the people. You see when they are too good in their life. By the skin, and I was like, so I just want to fight. I was like very savage there in that time. I just want to get my moments and get to in a good life. Just wanna like in that time help my mother when she was there, and I started fighting the Rise and start to help, make a good money, start to help them, and then I moved to Thailand. I just moved to Thailand.
Why?
No, because the training and the condition was much
just better.
It was better.
You're
for
at
me.
AKA, right?
Yeah, it's AKA with Mike Swick. He helped me a lot. We was training with Marcio, Gracinha. It was the good moment for my career.
Right.
Was when I moved to Thailand after that.
Yeah, and when you're in RIZIN, like you're fighting obviously high level competition, but there's also like a number of former UFC competitors that were coming over to RIZIN at that time too. Was UFC always the goal, or were you just like you wanted to stay in RIZIN, or how did you approach it?
My goal was to be a champion in RIZIN. Always when I go every promotion. It's funny because every promotion where I've been, I became a champion. Yeah. Every promotion where I step, I become a champion. And I was told to myself, I'm not gonna leave this Rising if I'm not be a champion. So my goal at that time was focus on be a Rising champion, and then I wanna step to the next level. Because was the UFC.
Yeah. And then when you got that call, you fought Pantoja in your debut, right?
Yes. No, my first fight was I was the backup from the Moreno and Davidson Figueiredo.
Oh, that was your first?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I made the weight for the backup, and we received the call because the Davidson Figueiredo was bad.
He always had.
Yeah.
Yes, he was bad. He went to hospital. He was not feeling good, and I was like, okay. We have the moment. We're gonna fight for the title. It was supposed to be me against Moreno, but then they say that Davidson Was good. Made the weight. Okay, let's step in.
Yeah. From that first fight with Pantoja to now, like, how do you think each of you have evolved? Like,
We actually we improved, but and that fight where I was just adapt myself. I don't take any credit because the fight was even me or him. He didn't do too much. He won by the volume, but we didn't do too much. I was more like find myself after many years never fighting in a cage, and I had that problem. The feet was I was sliding everywhere, and I couldn't keep myself composed because I'm way more faster than Pantoja, and I was like, why I cannot get in and get out, and this guy touched me when I tried to get out, So what was like to adapt myself to the canvas. It was very slippery, but it was nothing that like technical or whatever that I feel any different of the levels. Even in jiu-jitsu, I was try to take him down. Try to have that game. Was just very like strategy fight. We was respecting a lot, each other. It's just that was, today I adapt myself. I find a way to fight in that canvas, and I'm comfortable.
Yeah. What do you think the biggest difference has been from that first fight? In terms of his involvement, obviously.
Oh, I think just his overall, like, I think he's better everywhere, to be honest with you. I think, and that's one thing too, that he's so damn fast on his feet that has been like an issue for us, is him sliding.
Yeah.
Is like even in the last fight, in the second round, like so going into the third, we poured water on his feet.
So I told you, I was even in the middle of the fight, you guys told me to do something. I say, hey, I'm sliding.
I can't see. Yeah, he slides.
It was during the fight. During the fight, yes, he was telling me, hey, I don't know about the kick or something like that, because you guys can see in the fight against Bruno Silva, I was kicking a lot.
Yeah,
I was kicking, and people sometimes say, "Oh, you don't use too much your kick." Like, brother, I cannot use my kick. If I kick, I will slide. And he was saying something like the monkey swing and then kick or whatever. And I was looking, and they say I'm sliding. He's sliding as well. I'm sliding.
And that happened like in the Mokaev fight too. Like
his
feet was slipping way too much.
Very sleeping.
Yeah, it was. It's tough because like I know what he's capable of doing.
Yeah.
And we wear shoes.
In that fight, I was sliding a lot. I was not like grabbing, and I would say, "Wow, you lucky." I'm just myself. You so lucky, believe me, because this is sliding, and I couldn't catch because he was run a lot, and I couldn't catch him, because I know he's going to the cage. And I don't want to do some feint and then come back, and I was not able to do this because if I did, I know I would not be fast enough to get out, and I was like, I was just mad to myself, and for the feet. Anyway.
Yeah. On that fight, you hurt your foot in that fight, right? And
Yes,
I remember the corner was like,
I broke all my thumb.
His foot was fucked up.
Yeah, what did you break? What you broke your whole foot, or did you break toe? Or
my toe. I couldn't put my toe.
What was do you remember the moment? Did you kick his elbow or something? Or?
No, no. Was the sprawl when I moved to go, and this happened because it was so slippery, and I was try to put my feet on the floor, try so hard, try to be a grip, and then when I try to grip, when I step back in I just feel the thumb like like
the
this.
big toe was
the big toe was like I was looking at it. I don't want to look more. I look one time, and then I want to look more. Wow.
We get in the corner, and he's like, "How's my foot?" And I was like, Looks good. Looks good.
I don't want to look to that. I don't want to look.
Bro, I was like,
yep,
shape.
And then the doctor come, doctor say, I don't know. He just tell me in the end, hey, I come to the corner to say if you want that I put in in a
Pop
place,
it back in
pop
place.
it back in a place. You say, I didn't hear you say me this. You
Yeah.
know? And we can do this. Gonna be good. I don't know. Because the
He
pain,
said the doctor said I could pop it back in.
Oh.
He's like you as the corner man can pull his toe and put it back into place. And I'm like, I ain't touching that thing.
and it was like he's already like this. I'm gonna fight like this, you know.
Yeah.
But it was so painful. It was
Bro,
so painful.
so bad.
And it was like
It looked like if you like dropped like a piece of like sheet metal like on his foot.
yeah.
Yeah, it didn't. It was like this, like compacted down, bro. Like it looked like it got like cut. You know what I mean? Like the way the
Yeah.
like something like impacted.
But it wasn't. It was just like indented, right? It wasn't
Yeah,
like
bro.
actually
It was like
cut
it was
or
like
severed. Or
bang.
anything.
You know,
Yeah.
and the toe was like, oof.
It moved all like all
Bro,
the
I'm
joint,
not.
bro.
I'm not trying to.
Yeah.
I don't want to fuck it up
Yeah.
more. That was
Yeah.
my thing.
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
I remember
And
like
then you might
Brandon
have to
Gibson
stop
like
the
trying
fight,
to.
you
Yes,
know?
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Brandon
Yeah.
Gibson was trying to pop Pico's shoulder back into place when he
Yeah.
fought Jeremy Kennedy.
Yeah.
And Brandon ended up like fucking his arm up even more. I'm like, dude, I'm not. That thing looks like a mess.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, dude. And adrenaline can only mask the pain so much. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's got to be so pain. How do you even
I
get
still
through
feel like
that?
you won the fight too.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, I feel I won the fight. If they
That
took
was,
and if they
Mokaev?
took the,
Yeah.
and if they took the
More
point,
damage.
and if they took
And
the
that's
a
point,
point.
if
That's
they
right.
took the point, like I say, you know, people underestimate my jiu-jitsu, but when we go down, it was not realized. It was like, you know, Danny Bar is one of my favorite positions. I knew he's gonna tap in that position. So he did well. He grabbed the short, you know.
Showed some butt cheek. And
Yes, yes, for some butt chicken, but he did well. He's like, you know, Nicolas Machiavelli. You once say like, doesn't matter the middle of the means, is the results, you know.
Yeah.
In the end,
Yeah.
but okay, I give him the credit, you know. But
Right.
like I said, it was the fault with the referee. We was spoken with the referee, by the way. And
he reffed our last fight too.
yes, a lot of
Who?
Beltran.
I smashed him. I smashed him in a locker room.
Beltran
You know,
didn't know. He was like he's like didn't remember what happened.
Oh, so you went off on him in the locker
Yeah,
room.
he just said, brother, like you cost me my last fight and all this stuff. And Beltran didn't really. He was kind of like, he looked a little lost.
Yeah.
So after the rules and everything were done, you know, Beltran's a good guy.
Yeah.
And he says, you know, coach, can you come outside? And I go outside and he's like, I don't know what he's talking about. And I was like, the fight in Manchester against
Yeah.
Mokaev. When he's like, oh, he goes, dude, I owe him an apology. You know, and he's like, he's right. And he came back in and he said,
No,
hey,
but of course he definitely was a point, you know. It was not even something. It was something that I was trying to submit him.
Right.
You know, I was trying to submit him, and he just grabbed the short. And then it was a moment that he put really the finger on my eyes, like,
Yeah.
you know. And then now today people want to talk about my fingers. It's payback.
There needs to be some sort of like reset with the rules though, because it's like so inconsistent. The stuff we've talked about with guys like Mark Smith and you know, like you said, pokes and short grabs and fence grabs and all this stuff. It's so inconsistent.
Yeah.
It's frustrating from a view. I mean, I'm sure it's more frustrating from the fighter,
Yeah, of
but
course.
from our standpoint, it's just like so frustrating. It's
But
like,
it's
what's
crazy
the rule?
it's crazy because if I didn't stop, was me that stopped the fight
right.
in that moment when he grabbed my short. If he didn't stop the fight, he's gonna let it
it keep
go.
going. Yes,
And he
'cause
was
in the
he was
fight, in the
looking-
Mokaev
he was
fight,
looking-
yeah.
he was looking to him. He was just saying, "Don't grab the short, don't grab
Yeah.
the short." What, bro? What's the, don't grab the short? This is in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, yeah,
This is
yeah.
in jiu-jitsu for you grab anything.
Yeah.
You just don't grab the short, brother. Stop the fight. That
Yeah.
was I stopped. Hey, I stopped the fight because I say I lose the position.
Yeah.
And I stopped the fight.
It's been happening forever though. I
It's
remember
crazy
when
because you know but the fight was so emotional because Mike Bertan was not the best referee for handle that moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he freezing. In that moment, you have to be cold. You have to be prepared, and you have to be experienced to face that moment. Was a lot of security there. Was a lot of a lot of stuff, a lot of shit's going there, but you have to be capable to do your work and not be emotional. You have to be cold.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I think
to
too, even in the back before the fight, remember?
Yeah,
Because he
yes.
was like, if
He's very
bullshit, this,
yeah,
know
but
this.
he was very emotional. That's why he didn't want to take any decision.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was not enough brave to take a decision.
Right.
It's funny because sometimes I can see when people are like cold in big moments.
Yeah.
It was the first it's funny because this last fight we was in the locker room, and Eric is being in so many fights, like almost every week you are in a fight. So you be in a championship fight. So you are so usual to this because for you it's normal.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
and this is good. You know, you don't create panic in your athletes. You don't create like,
Yeah.
that's the moment, whatever you know, that speech, like the motivation speech too much, you know, you don't over the motivation. So we was in the locker room, and I have another coach. They give me pads. It's very short, so he just is with me. He just have 2 fighters, you know. So he don't. It was a big moment. It was a main event, and I'll see him. He's feel a little bit. I'm just give you an example. The moments, and I just feel him like a little bit not cold. You know, he was a little bit frozen. You know, and so he was not giving me the right pass work. So, but I know how to recognize this, you know, when people was like, you know, and I say, Eric, just give me you, you know?
Yeah.
And it was just give me the pass,
flow,
because the flow was not there. It was just a little bit, you know, stiff there.
Yeah.
You know, you get stiff because it was a big moment,
Yeah.
you know, it was a main event.
Right.
And probably come to his head, you know,
Yeah.
we have to win. And people start, you know, be so careful, conscious, you know, they don't want to take risks. You know, on doing something, you know,
Right.
and you don't want to do the same thing. You want to be so correct because you don't want to
Mess up.
You mess up. You don't want to think out of the box,
Right.
you know. And I like to think out of the box. I love to be relaxed,
Yeah.
you know. So some people are made for these moments. That's what I'm saying. And Mike Bertrand was not
Ready for that moment.
The great for the moment. That's what I'm just saying.
That's pretty.
Do you remember the guy that we had, the commissioner in the back?
Yeah. Oh
That
my God.
dude.
Oh
was
my God.
So, bro, this
So
guy
annoying.
was so nervous and so annoying, and like, bro, I got to the point where
for this last fight?
No, Manchester.
Yeah,
Oh,
Manchester fight.
Manchester. He was like, it was like his first day on the job or
Yes,
something.
first day on the job. I said, brother, I'm doing this. I have more. I have 30 fights, brother. I know what I'm doing. Yeah. No, you are gonna do this, and they was putting my
Raps.
my raps. No, it's like this. It's like that. No, because I was like, brother, you're so annoying. You are a teacher for some school or wherever. Yeah, no. I'm just here. And when I go pee, he's coming. No, I have to be what you're doing here today,
Yeah.
brother.
Every little thing.
Every little thing.
Every little thing.
Too much.
But dude, it was like what Manel's saying. His nervous energy was coming off on us.
You're right.
And I told the guys, like, bro, you're making me nervous. Yeah. And I'm like, we feel that energy. And
Yeah.
I actually went and grabbed like the head of whoever their commission was and one of the blue shirts from UFC. I'm like, listen, man, I've never ever asked this. Can we get somebody else? Because this dude is driving us nuts.
Yeah.
He's like, what's he doing? I'm like, you just got to come over there and watch for like 2 minutes and you'll get it.
Too much.
Yeah, it was just
too
way
much.
every little thing. And I'm like, bro, you got to stop. You're
It's like
making us nervous.
it's like someone is have the is
Power trip.
Is no his first job.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
people go to the first job,
Yeah.
and I don't want to mess around. You want to be so correct on everything.
They want to
and,
do
uh,
it so well.
Yeah. So right then, in the end of, they realize like, oh, that is just.
Were they asking for pictures and autographs
Yeah.
like California?
Oh, bro, tell him about that.
You tell them about that. That shit was
Bro.
fucking crazy.
So Francis
His
versus
last
Cyril
UFC
Gahn.
fight.
Yeah. Okay.
Bro, we're in the back for the California Athletic Commission, right? We get there. Bro, these guys are fans. They're asking for photos. This is before the fight.
Before the fight.
Before,
Yeah.
like, we're getting his fucking hands wrapped.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, Francis. Like,
Not to mention, not to cut you off, but not to mention that no one knows about his knee injury. So we're in the back dealing with like the knee sleeves, and the commission's trying to approve. Can he use this one? Can he use that one? Kamaru Usman's like running knee sleeves out and back in. So all this chaos is going on. You know what I mean? We're
Yeah.
trying to get everything good so he can go fight. And yeah, the fucking commission's like, so like, by the way, like my son's a big fan, and like, can I get a selfie? Like, you do a video for my son? Like, can you sign this? And I'm like sitting there and I'm looking at Eric like and Dewey, and I'm like, are you guys gonna fucking say? And I look at Markel, I'm like, can you guys say something? These guys are fans. Like,
they're trying to police you.
Yeah.
And they're trying to like uphold the law and the rules,
Yeah,
which I respect.
they should be doing
They
that,
should be
right?
doing. But then like in the middle of they're like, oh, let me see that knee sleeve, and like, oh, but by the way, can we get a and I'm like, bro, this is the most unprofessional setting
bad.
I've ever seen.
It was so
like
bad.
we're about to go fight for a title, and you're making Francis do selfies
On one leg.
Yeah, it felt so weird.
No, with me it ain't gonna work. Cause I like to be my energy. It's
Yeah. Luckily, Francis is like so fucking calm about everything.
Yeah.
He's just like,
he didn't give a shit.
yeah, he's like, whatever. Let me just hit these pads.
Yeah.
You know, blah blah blah. So, all right. Well, I mean, it looks like potentially Pantoja Kaikar France isn't happening, and
we'll see.
maybe
We'll see.
Maybe,
We'll see what's going on.
I love it.
We'll see what's going on.
What's your ideal time frame? Obviously, Ramadan these last couple weeks. When would you like to get back in there? Are you ready to go ASAP or?
No, like let me see. Like we was like in March, January, March, April, May, June, July, August.
Yeah.
I don't know.
July, August. Yeah.
Probably.
Love it.
Fighting for a world title this
Love
summer,
it.
huh?
We were saying that
yeah,
for
yeah.
2024.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's the year. I just believe that's the year, and and I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm healthy. I'm in my prime right now. Physical, mentally, and everything.
Ready to go.
Yeah, ready to go.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
nah, man. Absolute joy to work with.
Yeah.
I have a blast with him. He makes me a
We
better
hear about
coach.
your sparring rounds, by the
Yeah.
way,
Oh,
every
yeah.
episode, because Eric talks about them
every episode.
Yeah.
And God bless the guys that spar him.
Yeah.
Because there's like sometimes he's sparring 45ers all the way up to 55ers because
Alberto Ruiz.
you know what I mean. Like he needs rounds and bodies.
Right.
And, Ige and Kai Kamaka and all these guys would give him rounds because not only that, like it's good to go with guys like Manel.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And especially guys like Kai, because Kai understands a lot of things that
Yes.
he's doing movement wise, so they're absolute fun rounds. He's a joy to have in the gym, makes us all better. So looking forward to seeing him get this title in 2025.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Awesome.
be amazing.
Well, thank you for being a guest on the show,
Thank you,
man. We
brother.
appreciate
Thank
you
so
coming
much.
out.
I appreciate it a lot. Thank
Absolutely.
you for the invite, It's amazing. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, that does it for another episode of Verse Us with Eric Nixick. Please make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube. Leave a comment. Let us know who you'd like to see on the show or any questions you have for Eric or anyone that comes on the show. Also, make sure you listen to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, etc. And also make sure you follow the show on social media at VSUS Pod on all platforms. For Eric and Manel, I'm Randy. We'll see you guys next time.